What's up, you guys? It's your girl Sugar. So today, me and my friend Henry Jordan decided that we were going to sit down and talk to Keekee, who has a long history of being homeless and being out on the streets and going through certain things. During this interview, she told us her experiences living in the streets and also homeless shelters. The conversations at times got humorous, but I just want to keep everyone focused on the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that we all have a story to tell. We've all experienced life, and some of us just don't have the platform to be able to express ourselves and to give the world our story. And that's why we decided to come up with this reality series, web series, called Ghost Riding with Energy. It was all Henry's idea to film and do this interview, and at first I was questioning what he was doing, and then as we were asking questions and as we were going through the process of talking to her, I realized that there's a bigger picture, and I fell in love with the concept. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I know a lot of us always talk about how we can write a book with the things that we've gone through. So this is definitely going to be an interesting series. If you are interested in being interviewed to take this ride, Ghost Riding with Energy, please email me, info@energyradio.com. So tune in, stay tuned, and let me know what you guys think. Follow, like, and subscribe, and make sure you share, okay? How it was like living in the streets of Newark.
And why is it better for you now than how it was when you first hit these streets in 2010, 2014?
No, it's not better now. Actually, back then, it was like more help. Like now, you really don't have no help.
Are you receiving any help
at this moment? I'm receiving help from my agency.
What is the agency called?
110 William Street.
Okay. What services are they providing you?
They're providing Section 8, jobs. They help you with your birth certificate, social security card, ID.
How'd you hear about this program?
Down Penn Station.
Okay, so it was like word of mouth?
Yeah,
a reach out program?
It was an outreach.
Okay.
Outreach program, gotcha.
So, and they made these containers for the homeless as well.
Okay.
Oh, that's really dope. So, do you mind talking about what led you to be on the street?
Yeah.
And you said it started in 2014, correct? Or you said
2014.
Mm-hmm.
When I got aged out of diapers.
Oh, you aged out of diapers. You grew up in the system.
Yeah, they told me when I turned 18 they couldn't help me no more.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on. I've heard in the streets now. Is it?
There's a lot of people on the streets because of
It's
that.
over.
Yep.
Oh, it's over.
You got an exclusive interview here anyway, I guess.
Right. Wow.
1,000 boxes already?
So
Can't be over.
when you turned
right.
18, basically the system was like, we're done with you. We're done taking care of you. We're not helping you anymore.
Where's the boxes?
So
When I turned
where did you turn?
when I turned 18,
Where's the boxes?
when I turned 18, they dropped me off to the Covenant House.
And what is the Covenant House?
It was it's a shelter for teenagers all the way up until you're 22, 24.
Okay.
Projects for down here.
So when you were 18, they dropped you off at the Covenant House. Were you in school at this time?
I graduated already.
You had already
It was
graduated
right after I graduated high school.
It was right after you graduated high school?
Yes.
So where did you move to? Did you stay in the Covenant House? Like how did that work?
I stayed in the Covenant House all the way up until I turned 24. I couldn't stay there no more because of my age.
Okay.
So my friend let me live with them.
Now, what was the age that you had to age out of that place?
the Covenant House?
Yes.
It's 18 to 24.
Okay, so you went there. How old were you? 18.
Yes.
And so
I stayed up all the way up until I was 24.
So you was there for 6 years.
Yeah.
And why have you received any help from them? Anything was beneficial?
The only thing that was beneficial was school.
Okay. So basically, you were there for 6 years, and they weren't even allowed to, or even just weren't able to give you some type of placement or another living situation or format.
No, they tell me I can go to welfare.
What did you go to school for?
Nursing.
Were you ever able to use what you learned? Like whatever certificate you got?
I didn't finish nursing school.
And what's the reason?
I'm gonna give her up. The work got too hard.
Oh, okay, understandable. And then probably just the stress of the world, correct?
Yeah.
So, like, when you say you lived in the streets, like, what do you mean by living in the streets?
Wait, in a way Jocelyn says these streets, or?
Sleeping at Penn Station. Sleeping under a bridge.
So you didn't have any support?
There was only one lady that was supportive, and that was Miss Jenny and my brother.
Oh, really? So you had the support of a woman that's not part of your family, which
Yeah.
is what, a counselor of some sort?
Yeah, she's a counselor.
Okay, and
my brother.
Your brother. And how were they beneficial to you?
He used to come and check up on me, bring me food, make sure I could take a shower.
Oh, okay. That's
How were you able to, like, provide food for yourself and at times shelter when it's
It was
cold?
called, they had these places where you could go and eat at for breakfast, lunch. St. John's,
Oh, okay. Is that a church?
Red Door, and Goodwill.
Oh, those are churches, or?
Yeah, those churches, and Goodwill's a shelter
Okay.
for men.
If you were given the opportunity to, like, do anything right now to better yourself or to get yourself right, what would it be? What would you think you need?
If I could go back in time, I'd change my life around.
What date would you start?
Huh?
What date would you start with? What age? What year?
After I graduated high school.
You feel like that's the start of it all?
What would you change?
My life actually went down when I met some bad people.
You want to talk
I would
about
change the people that was around me.
what happened with the people?
They're bad influences. I could just say.
Just bad influences, negative vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that can happen. Like in any given, like, just being around the wrong people can set anybody's life from a straight and narrow to
Yeah.
chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Really understand that. Do you think that there's more programs needed? Like earlier, you said that there was there were more programs back in the day than it is now.
Yeah,
Like what kind of programs?
Like back in the day, there was Mommy and Me programs. There was programs for teenagers. Like there was programs for adults. Like.
And how far? What's back in the day to you? 'Cause how old are you, if you don't mind?
29.
29. Okay, so therefore, there's people older than you.
Back in
that's been in these streets.
2013 and
So we're going back almost 10 years ago. There's a lot more help.
Yeah,
That's
like they had
now.
the programs in Elizabeth where they're Mommy and Me programs. I was in one of them actually, Raphael Lighthouse, but I aged out.
What age were you there when you aged out?
When I had my first daughter.
How old were you then?
It's 24.
24. Okay. So how many kids do you have?
4.
4, that's a lot. Your pussy was busy.
I can't.
How was your living when you had your first?
Not good.
Where were you staying at?
I was staying in the Mommy and Me program, and then I aged out. So I was living with my friend, and their house wasn't really suitable, but they had kids too. And I really knew I was a young mother. I didn't know. But Dyfus has stepped in.
Not to cut. This is Mommy and Me. What was that? Was that like a shelter?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you aged out with your child, they just put you and your child out.
Mhm.
With no other options, like
They
didn't
told
try
me
to
I
help
had
you?
to go to welfare.
Everybody.
Elizabeth welfare.
So what happened when you went to welfare?
They couldn't place me because I didn't have cash. So I had to sign up for cash.
Cash assistance, you mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
cash
okay.
assistance.
And you signed up for cash assistance.
Yeah,
then
and
what
it
happened?
took 30 days to 2 months to even get approved.
Right.
So they didn't place you nowhere right then and there, knowing
no,
you had
they
a
didn't.
child?
No,
Wow.
I went with my friend.
Oh,
My friend let me stay with them
okay. Where's this friend now?
in New York.
Oh,
She got her own apartment.
okay.
So she's doing good.
Yeah, she's doing way better than what she was out here.
So that might have been her blessing by helping you then. So
Right.
when you get your blessing, you'll be able to
Pay it forward.
pay it forward, help someone just as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're in the process of doing all of this right now.
Yes.
And I want to say
Actually.
congratulations too, because we were already informed of some of the changes that you made, and you know some of the upgrades that are happening for you. So congratulations, because we do know it's really difficult and hard out here. You know, we drive past Penn Station all the time and see people out here, and I don't want you to think for a second that we're making fun, because you know Tata is very funny. You know,
Always.
and we can't hold it sometimes. But this
No,
is
that's
something
the
really
Capricorn
serious.
in her.
Right. This is something that is really serious because, you know, like yourself, I was in a situation where I went down to welfare because I was in a situation where I was in between houses and I didn't have nowhere to go, no family to take me in, and I had my kids and they rejected me because I didn't have, they said that I couldn't have income for 30 days before they would help me with services, which left me, if I didn't, you know, have that one friend that let me stay with them, then I would have been on the street too, you know?
Yes.
So I completely relate, you know, with that aspect. There is a real big need for programs to help people get off the street. A lot of people just like to judge all the time, but in reality, everyone's situation is different. Everybody does not want to be there. You know, some people do, and it, by all means, do you, but other people do want to get out of the streets, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, how I feel about welfare is they pick and choose who they want to give TRA to.
That's a fact. That's a fact. They do. So when you move into this place, how long do they give the TRA to you for?
You only get it for a year, and then you gotta do another application so you can get an extension for another year.
Okay.
But I would prefer people to get like either pay out of their pocket or Section 8 or subsidy, because you know Section 8 and subsidy, that's like a lifetime to me.
Okay.
I know Section 8 is, and I know like they're longer than TRA.
So
TRA gonna stop helping you pay for your apartment.
Guess so now.
Section 8 is gonna stop. I mean, not Section 8. TRA is gonna stop helping you pay for your apartment after the year is up.
So basically, what they want is for you to take the 2 years, get yourself together, and then pay your own rent after that.
Yes.
For a lot of parents, especially single moms, it's not that easy.
No, it's not.
Can we talk about some of the struggles that you've gone through as a single mom trying to get a job and stuff like that?
Yes. My main problem was daycare.
Getting people to watch the babies while you were at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when they shift the schedule all the time.
Yes. And you know, I was working at Amazon and HelloFresh, and you know they change your schedule all the time.
Yeah.
If they need you, you have to come in, and some programs for parents wasn't after 5 o'clock. Some people work after 5 o'clock.
Right. So where was the father, if you don't mind me asking, when you needed the babysitter?
The deadbeat.
He was a deadbeat.
Yeah.
So he didn't help with the.
He was homeless. Like he was sleeping on the street. So I wouldn't leave my kids with him.
What was his effort?
But I did have one wonderful help and big help.
Absolutely.
Yes, I did. And I thank him a lot, my brother.
Okay. So what did he do? Did the father try to do anything to come, like, get a job or maybe get off the street to make sure that his family was taken care of?
No, he counted on his SSI check.
He had an SSI check?
Yeah.
And he still was on the street?
Yep.
Oh. Okay, so that was one of the people that had a choice.
He was mainly, he had a choice. Like, he also had custody, like, interview, and he just never went back and burned the paperwork. So
he basically didn't care.
Yeah. And he was always he was dependent on his mother.
So he had something to fall back on. He just didn't want to provide that for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it.
And he's an abuser, so.
Yeah, so we wanna make this clear. I wanna make this very, very clear that she is in the process of getting her life together. She's been through a lot of things, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. She had the support of her brother. She had the support of a complete stranger, but the support was very minimum. Can we talk about the way that other people treated you while you were on the street? Like random people, were they nice to you?
Some was and some wasn't. Like, some just looked at me like, why are you here? And some used to, like, give you smiles and tell you that God loves you and you're always going to be okay.
Okay. Have you ever experienced any, like, discrimination or people?
It was mostly like foreigners.
Foreigners?
Yeah. Like, and white people.
Really?
Yeah, judging me.
Wow, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, some blacks was doing it, but I always kept my head up.
As you should.
Yeah, it hurt it, but I didn't let it, like, bother me.
You just kept striving, right?
Yeah.
If you had any advice for anyone who's been through some of the things that you've been through, what would it be?
I'll tell them to keep their head up, and God's gonna bless them, and everything is gonna be okay. My name is Keekee. Where I see myself in 5 years in my own place. I have a wonderful job, and my kids running around in their own place and or their backyard. And me and my brother sticking together.
And that was beautiful. Go Keekee.
Right.
Thank you for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
Depending on the viewers, you might need a part 2.
Right, update.
Okay.
Right, update.
Anytime.
It's not a criminal, so it's not like the movie with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart. But yes, the ride along with Energy Radio was quite interesting from this young, I believe she said she was 29 years old, on and off these streets since 2014, which is almost a decade. It's quite impressive because, she doesn't look like, she's actually from these streets. She looks like she might have had a fight or two on the street. But I see like a nice outcome of her, being the potential mother and woman figure, let alone law-abiding citizen of the streets. You know.
Did you learn anything?
Actually, quite interesting was that how she said she received help, but then there were some counselors or staff members that were, I guess, being disrespectful or, in her words, judgmental, due to the fact of her situation and maybe how she carried herself and maybe even the reason why she's there. Uh, but yeah, that was a little shocking because you would think that the state or the government puts these people in these places to help these people and not be able to pass judgment or just have these good hearts or just willing to help as much as they can, as much as God allow, or even the funds or their protocol, if you will. But yeah, I have hopes for Keekee. How are you, Jay?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you because I was gonna say that I didn't feel like I learned anything, but from what you said, that was very shocking to me when she had talked about that they put her out when she was pregnant with her first child. Like I thought no matter what, like facilities like that are supposed to be helping people out with the kids. So when you said that, I was just like, oh shit, like and also like he was saying, the people were just taking advantage of their authority, judging her based off, of her appearance, and I guess their thoughts. Like she was trying to say, judging a book by its cover. She was saying, judge a cover by its book. But we got the drift, But yeah, that was very eye-opening for me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
any.
Well, I would actually like to even get in the future like a male's point of view as well, any ethnicity, and hopefully he has some more insight just to collaborate on what Miss Keekee said and just see if we could just spread awareness in general. Obviously, to let them know it's not only happening in women, it's happening in men of all nationalities, shape, form, and just very unprofessional manner. So let's just spread the awareness and get this out there.
All right, I wanted to touch bases on you guys because while we were driving for a while, you got really silent. In the beginning, you were like really really energetic, and then like when she was hitting certain points, you got real silent, and your whole attitude, personality changed. Was there something that she said that triggered you a little bit?
Well, as far as her saying, because I actually had a family member in a similar situation, and for her to be like she only had a stranger to help her brother, I know how that is, and then just literally rolling down the streets and just picturing or just memorizing these days or these times when certain things happened in my own life, whereas though it was like deja vu. So it was like, oh wow, okay. Because obviously I'm not the only one. Everybody goes through their hardships. But yeah. But she was hitting definitely home for me. I was feeling all of that and all of that.
There was definitely some point during the ride. I didn't get to watch the full clip because we gotta still edit everything down. But she even herself started to shut down and she started to withdraw from some of the questions. I know things can be real difficult, especially when you're homeless, like when you're going through things. That's why I threw out, what I went through, just to relate to her. Mm-hmm. But in all actual reality, it's a lot of people that went through homelessness, a lot more than they're even willing to acknowledge that that's what they went through, and that's something that we all dealt with at one point of our life. Most of us, if you're from the hood, then you already know. Exactly. We've all dealt with getting kicked out, having to move a certain way. So this is no judgment-free zone. And like Henry said, we are here to give her story. It's about her story, and it's about her being able to tell it. We asked the questions, and she gave us the answer, and she went as far as she was willing to go with those questions. So I think Henry's idea of doing this show is incredible. I think that we're gonna help a lot of people. I agree. And we also gonna learn if we listen, and we pay attention. So
that's true.
Word up.
I feel like if a lot of people do, tune into this, no matter what background you come from, you could definitely get some knowledge from what she said. Cause it even shocked me hearing some of the stuff that the facilities do, stuff like that. Not everybody goes through the process of being homeless. Not everybody goes through the process of going through shelters, have to go to applying on, for public, services and stuff like that. Not everybody has to do that. So
Especially with kids.
For that,
Word.
You get pregnant the first time. She said she ended up being homeless. So you would think that no matter what, like they're gonna help you out because you have children. That's not the case.
I think
Right.
it's right.
They actually act like it's their money.
My social media is TATA_DA_SHIT. Yes, sugar, honey, iced tea. That's about it.
You could find me on Facebook at Jordan Season. My Instagram is hilariously blunt.
Okay, so that concluded our interview with Miss Keekee. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Like I said, it was both humorous and it was both sincere, but it was most of all the truth. And I'm glad that she came to us and was able to express herself. Make sure you subscribe, www.energyradio.com. If you're watching from YouTube, you have to subscribe to energyradio.com to see the full episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah, until next time, we will be back for another episode of Ghost Riding with Energy. Let's go.